and welcome to another episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. This is episode 136 and is coming to you from our new warehouse. You will realize that we are still moving in. We've been here 2 whole weeks now. We still don't have internet. And we are still in the process of building shelves and buying new boxes. We have boxes everywhere. So we are managing to get through what we need to get through. And we are loving our new space. But hopefully next episode we will have a better backdrop for you. We're working on it. So yeah, welcome to the Woolly Thistle. We are an online only yarn shop. One day I hope to have a brick and mortar that we can welcome in customers. But for now, as we're growing, we are online only, and we specialize in yarns from the UK, Scandinavia and Europe, but we really specialize in woolly wool. We love wools that are rustic, that are minimally processed, oftentimes undyed yarns, in all the natural shades, as well as dyed yarns. So for instance, Rama is a really great yarn for colorwork. Jamieson Smith from the Shetlands, all Shetland wool, is also fantastic for colorwork. And these yarns are great for doing other types of knitting too, like lace or cables. And we have yarns from Finland, we have Tuku, we have yarns from Iceland, which is Lopi, and we have yarns coming over from Northern Ireland, which is Woolly Mammoth. She's coming back and we're very excited about that. There'll be more about that in the very near future. We have yarns from, I don't want to forget anyone. Let's see. We've got Marie Wallin's beautiful yarns that are processed at John Arbin Textiles Mill. And of course we have John Arbin as well, his Exmoor sock yarn. So we really do specialize in yarns that are very woolly and great for colorwork, as well as all kinds of knitting. And my feeling is that once you start knitting with more rustic wools, you really want to knit with more of them, and that's what I'm finding. I really enjoy knitting with the woolly wool, and I need to find some more adjectives for that, because although woolly wool just says it all to me, it is comforting, it is close to the source. It's often very much, it has its own story and where it came from, and yeah, it's really good stuff. So that's what we do here at the Woolly Thistle, if you didn't know already. We spell woolly with 2 L's, W-O-O-L-L-Y. That's the way you'll find us. And we welcome everybody. If you're a brand new knitter, if you're an expert knitter, you will find that we can help you get your project going, no matter what you're looking for. If we stock it, we will help you pick out colors and things like that. So yeah, we are a thriving little business here and we're really enjoying it. A little stressful, with the move and everything, but it had to happen. And I think one of the main benefits of our move that we're all feeling so far is that now we have space. We have space to spread out. We have areas. Our receiving area has its own thing, and there's nobody sort of climbing over things to get to the other side. We actually had to do that before. When we had orders come in from our vendors, we literally had no room, and we're trying to pack orders, walking around and climbing over boxes, and we couldn't continue like that. So now we have an area. We actually even have a loading dock back there, and it all comes in. It has a space. We can receive it, we can check it, and we can put it away in the stacks, which are right here next to me right now. And we have room for desks, so people actually have a space to work and do their work. Of course, we have no internet yet. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think to check that they would have internet here. We're in a business park. I just assumed, and that's my bad. So once we moved in and we called Comcast to change our service to us, they were like, there's nothing to change. We gotta get a guy out. We gotta drill through all these other buildings to get to you from the road, and it's a whole hoo-ha. And I hope that they're going to come through for us this week. We were told 10 days, so any minute now we should light up with the internet. So, however, COVID has taught us well and trained us that we can all do a lot of work from home. So many of us are still only in the shop a little bit because we're working from home, doing emails, printing orders from home, bringing them in so the packers can pack them. And we really are a dynamic team that has managed to battle our way through all that COVID has taught us. And now we're putting it to good use when we don't have any internet in our place of work. But once that comes, and once we get things where they're going, we're missing chairs. So there's some office chairs coming and some floor rugs to put under desks. And then we're going to make a little feature area, sort of where I'm sitting right now, but that's all to come. All the pretty stuff, you know, we'll put really nice pictures up and we'll make it as homey as we can make it. We have a lot of yarn coming in, and I feel like I'm just going straight into blethering, so, you know, bear with me. But yeah, we have a lot of yarn coming in. It is getting harder to source the yarn or to deal with transport. Transport is almost having as much of an issue because of Brexit as anything to do with COVID. So we have a lot of challenges going on getting the yarn here, but we are, you know, we're doing it. We're doing the absolute best we can. I send out a weekly newsletter, and at the end of that, I do put just very general update on some of our best sellers that we're having trouble getting colors for or what have you, so that you get a good idea of what the situation is, so that you can you know, you're aware of what the difficulties are. But overall, we are just busy, and you guys are knitting, and we really love seeing what you're knitting on our Facebook group. That's really a really lovely place. It's our Facebook group, and you can find that just by searching for the Woolly Thistle on Facebook. Really lovely place. We love seeing your works in progress there, as well as our Ravelry group, which is great too. And then on Instagram as well. So you know, we can see that you guys are knitting and that you're enjoying the wool that you get from the Woolly Thistle. So, you know, let's just, you know, we will keep working hard to get that yarn here for you, because we know that these are stressful times and we want to be knitting. Thank God for knitting, honestly. I think so many of us feel that way. I know I do. I completely feel that way. If I wasn't able to go home and knit even just a few stitches, I think I'd go batty. Although I think being in here with all the wool all the time, I do get to touch it, and it's a very tactile thing for me, you know, so I feel my heart rate slow down if I'm at least caressing a ball of wool. But knitting is even better. So I know you get that. I think we're all in the same boat as far as using our knitting to deal with the stresses that are, you know, just so unprecedented for what the whole world is dealing with. And I just feel endlessly lucky to be a knitter, to have that outlet, and I'm sure you do too. Okay, so now you know a bit about me. I like to blether. I like to talk about knitting and wool. That is what my world revolves around, for sure. And I feel it's a very happy place and a very happy existence to have. And I meet many like-minded people too. Whether you're growing wool and you have a small farm or a croft, or you have you know, a little farmstead here in Vermont or New Hampshire. I'm right on the Vermont border here. You know, we all love all the different aspects of wool. So yes. So anyway, welcome. And you can find us, I mentioned Facebook. So yeah, we have a Facebook page and a Facebook group. Ravelry, we have a group, and we're on Instagram as @thewoollythistle. Yep, @thewoollythistle. And I think the newsletter, though, is a great place to start. You can sign up at thewoollythistle.com. Remember, 2 L's in woolly, and then you will be able to sign up for a newsletter. And that's where I try to give you everything that's happening right at that moment that Friday newsletter goes out, because then you can hop on and get things that are just come in. And we are working to try to have our launches, our restocks happen around a Friday, so that we can all be ready with our ducks in a row. So we're working on that. I have to announce 2 winners this time. Last episode was a very quick episode showing you the move and all that entailed. So I did not pick a winner last time, but I said I'd pick them this time. And then from the time before, which was my last podcast from the old shop at the River Mill with the creaky floors. No creaky floors here, we're on concrete. So everything's level too, which is nice. Yeah, so I have a winner to announce from that episode because that's where I asked you guys to help me name this cowl that is now available as a kit from the Woolly Thistle. So I'm wearing it long ways just so you can see just some of its glorious colors. Yeah. Okay, so the winner I was going to pull the winner from the previous episode to this one, the one where we're naming the cowl. I asked you guys to give me lovely suggestions to name the cowl, and many of you did, and there was lots of really good ones. The one that resonated with me the most was the winter tapestry cowl, or actually just the tapestry cowl. And a few of you actually recommended that as a suggestion because you thought it looked like a tapestry. That resonated with me a lot because when I was halfway through knitting it, I laid it out on the table and took some photos, and it does indeed have that feel of a tapestry, and I had thought that myself. So I added winter, and it is now the winter tapestry cowl. And our winner is Ginger Porter. She was the first one to name it the tapestry cowl, or to suggest the tapestry cowl. So congratulations to you, Ginger. You are the winner of a $25 gift certificate. And our second winner, which is from last episode and pulled at random, is Chris Campbell. And she said in her comment that hooray for a successful move day. I love your comment. I hope this space is big enough. I'm sure it will be full in no time, which is good news for us too. Winter tapestry cowl is lovely, and I especially love how it can coordinate with many vanilla sweaters. Exactly. Like, this is the little mission, my little mini mission in fashion for myself is to build a wardrobe that goes with each other without being too matchy-matchy. But that, your knitting actually builds on the last thing. And so you are making a wardrobe, because I used to find that I'd knit all these things and they were just one-offs, which are great. I loved them and I really enjoyed knitting them, but then I don't wear them. I don't wear them as much as I do things that I can then layer on other pieces with. So to prove this point, here is the winter tapestry cowl right here. And I'm wearing it with my gray vanilla sweater. That's what it's called. And you can see I've used the same gray here. And it shows up somewhere else too, but I'm not sure. Oh, down here, look. So, and so there's just a suggestion, plus all these colors just really go together. So whatever sweater you wear it with, I think, whether it's a neutral or this color or that color, 4128 is this lovely mauve, and I have a vanilla sweater in that, of course. We were waiting for this color to come in from Norway, and as soon as it did, the tapestry cowl pattern was ready to be released. We were waiting on that. I know that they're out of 4125 in Norway. I'm not sure when that's going to get milled up. So unfortunately, when we run out of this color, that will be that, unless I can find a good substitute, and I haven't looked yet, but I'm sure we can. So just let me circle back to my winners. If you would just send us an email at info@thewoollythistle.com and put winner in your subject line, we will be able to pick your emails out quickly and get you your gift certificate off to you. And I hope you enjoy having fun spending that. Be sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment, and you will be in the drawing for another $25 gift certificate next time. So good luck with that. I want to be sure you're aware that we have our Colorwork Accessory KAL starting on February 19th. We're kicking that off with a cast-on party, probably on Zoom. We're working out the details and we'll let you know about that. But that was really fun when we did it for solstice, winter solstice. So we are going to do a cast-on party, and everyone's welcome. But we have to iron out the details of how we're making that happen. So just be on our newsletter, and that's how you'll find out. But anyway, we'll be kicking it off with a cast-on party. And it is our 6th year doing a Colorwork KAL in the February months. All before now it was the mitten KAL, and we decided this year that we wanted to expand it to include all accessories that have color work. So it could be socks, cowls, scarves, hats, mittens, did I say socks? Things like that. And that they have color work. And we're not even requiring that it be all over color work. I think I did say that originally, but thinking about it, I think it's nicer to, you know, we're not going to be super crazy about the rules. Do the color work that is appropriate to what you want to knit and to your skill level. I wouldn't expect a brand new knitter to just pop out something like this, but maybe you can find a pair of socks that has a nice color work cuff, and that would be great, or knit some mittens, whatever. But anything goes really, so long as it's an accessory and it's got color work in it. Well, stranded colorwork is vastly more popular than other colorwork methods. There is entrelac, you can do that with colorwork. There's mosaic, there is, what's the one? Intarsia. So those are all appropriate to as entries for our Colorwork Accessory KAL. And of course, if you can crochet in colorwork, that is welcome as well. But of course, stranded colorwork is my love, and Fair Isle is a traditional subsection of that. Fair Isle and stranded colorwork is often used interchangeably, and for all intents and purposes, that's fine. Fair Isle, though, is, amongst other things, the rule is that you only ever have 2 colors going in one row. So you don't have more than 2. And in Estonian knitting or Lithuanian knitting, I think you can have up to 3 or maybe even more colors in one row, and you're stranding all them behind. Anyway, it's all good. If that's what you want to knit during our Colorwork Accessory KAL, then do it. It's a 4-week KAL, so we're expecting people to be knitting on their accessory. I will be knitting another one of these for lots of reasons. I'll tell you right now. I'll be knitting another one in different colors to test out new color selections. I think a natural colored one would be really beautiful and very wearable, and then groupings of other colors. So I'm going to play around with that. Also, I knitted this much wider. It was like this wide. And the pattern does include instructions to knit a really wide one. The instructions also include how to knit one this long, as well as one that would be just half that length. So it would just be a single wrap. This is actually a double wrap cowl, the way it is. So I knitted this much wider, and then I decided after the fact that I didn't want it that wide, so I made it narrower. And there's directions for knitting it this narrow to start with, or wider. And so I want to knit one that is just this wide next time, rather than the big one. You will not have to deal with any of this, but I'm happy to show you that I took a seam, I mattress stitched down here, pulling in one whole repeat, and it's almost invisible, honestly. Well, not there. But I think it's really pretty good. And then all I did was tuck the extra in here. So I haven't actually cut any wool out or any fabric out. I'm thinking I might though, because this is very bulky with that in there. Super warm as well. So I might not ever do that. And I did 3 needle bind it off. So it is closed. I would have to undo that and then turn it inside out and snip, and then turn all the right side in again, and then close it again. If I ever do that, I will get my camera on and show you what I'm doing, because I think that would be fun and interesting, but not necessarily necessary. Not necessarily necessary. But this cowl is just a really lovely thing to wear. It does not itch me at all. I love this. Did I tell you it's knitted in raw merino yarn? It does not bother me in the least around my neck, but you want to be sure that you would enjoy wearing it. And you might know that already from knitting a vanilla sweater in it. This is the same yarn that is used for both projects. And This was knitted at a much looser gauge, so there's drape in it. This is knitted at a tighter gauge on smaller needles, and so it's nice and windproof, and will keep you warm in these winters that we have, at least up here in New England or wherever you are. It will keep the cold out for sure. I had fun taking photos of this after a huge snowstorm we had last week, and I think that those pictures will make it into the pattern and showing it off there. So yes, by the time you're seeing this, this cowl will have been on sale as a kit, and we'll see. I did order in lots and lots of yarn, so that I hope no one is disappointed, and anyone who wants to knit this can get the kit for it. And we'll take it from there. And while I'm mentioning the Colorwork Accessory KAL that's starting on February 19th, and if you're brand new to knitting in KALs, I keep wanting to say cowl. If you're brand new to KAL knitting, there is nothing you need to do to register or sign up. Basically, you just show up in our Ravelry group. There is a thread in there where there's lots of chatter, or you can start chatting to people over in our Facebook group as well. But basically, at this point, at the point I'm recording this, you can hop in there and say, hey, I'm going to knit along with you, and this is what I'm looking at to knit, and you can share your patterns and things. The really, really exciting big thing about this KAL this year is the number of excellent, brilliant designers we have participating. And we are going to show you a little reel of some of their patterns, along with their names, so that if you see anything that jumps out at you, you can go check them out on Ravelry. Have a list of brilliant designers who are offering discounts off their patterns right now to knit along with us, and many of them are offering prizes at the end of the KAL too, so there will be prizes. Just off the top of my head, MJ Mucklestone is offering a copy of her Fair Isle Weekend book, which was recently released through Lina, and we just have many great patterns and free giveaway patterns at the end. But the discounts are really good too, so be sure to go check them out on our Ravelry group. And thank you, designers. I hope you're enjoying the little reel that we have going here. Also, I wanted to show you, we have a cast-on prize from Sara Pomegranate, who is a close friend of mine. She has the Yarns at Yin Hu podcast, which is an audio podcast. It is one that I thoroughly enjoy every episode she puts out. She is she's a very thoughtful person, and she produces a really good knitterly makers podcast, and she's into books and reading and all that good stuff, and she also does a lot of sewing and dressmaking, and she's exceptionally talented. She just put out this pattern, and she sent me this. Isn't this lovely? This is her One Dark Night hat, which is recently released on Ravelry as a pattern by Sara Pomegranate, no H in Sarah. And she and I are collaborating on a cast-on prize for the KAL. And we don't have these colors that she actually knitted here, but I don't think these are the colors exactly as she called for in the pattern. I'm not sure. I think I've had to make some substitutes. But look at these. Wouldn't those be good together? So the Woolly Thistle and Sara Pomegranate of Yarns That Yin Who podcast, we will be giving away this as a little kit for her One Dark Night hat pattern, and she's giving away the pattern. So we will draw for that right at the beginning of the cast on period. And we've done rolling cast ons in the past. We'll see, we might do another rolling cast on because not everybody can join us right on Friday the 19th. Maybe you need to, you know, get through the weekend and cast on then. So I like it when we do rolling cast ons. It's more accommodating to everybody. But we are starting right on Friday the 19th, and that's the earliest you can cast on. You can swatch for sure. Get your ducks in a row ready for casting on. And then we cast on together. It's really fun. I'm looking forward to this one. I will be knitting this again, I think I said. All right, so thank you, Sara Pomegranate, for that lovely cast on prize. Another bit of business that I wanted to share with you is that Patricia of Knitography, I'm sure you know, is hosting a lot of digital courses over on her website at Knitography. She is a Selbu instructor. She has courses in Selbu socks knitting, Selbu mittens knitting. She has a variety of courses now that are doing really well. And so I have offered her students a discount, which you can get from Patricia through her channels. And, you know, if you're taking one of her courses and you're stateside, and it would be quicker and easier for you to get the books or the yarn that she uses, because there's a lot of alignment there between what I'm doing and what she's doing, then you can do that and get a discount. Just touch base with Patricia to get that. I'm sure she's putting it out on her channels. And it's a 10% off discount. All right, so let me show you what I'm knitting on. Let's move on. First of all, this is a swatch I'm showing you. And it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same gray, but this is not fingering weight. This is Rama's strict yarn, which is their DK weight. And this is not the Rama show. I promise, it's just the way it is at this moment. But I'm knitting a pattern and I was just swatching, and then I blocked it and I put it on my wood stove, which was not working at the time. You know, it wasn't on, to dry off. And then my husband put wood in it and made it burn. But I thought I'd show you this to show you the properties of wool. This was on that wood stove for a good long while before I came down and started going, what's that smell? And sure enough, I found this lovely swatch. But what I want to point out is that being wool, it did not burn and burst into flames. Wool is fire retardant. It will resist going on fire. And what it did was it did burn and it made a hole. But if this had acrylic in it or some other synthetic thing, you know, it could ignite. This did not ignite. It was there for quite a while. The only thing that it did was smell. And wasn't that bad a smell, I have to say, because it's wool. So yeah, this is unfortunate, but I thought it was a good thing to show you. Why not? And yes, so I am playing around, swatching, and thinking of things to knit with that. And there's not a lot to show you in the knitting front. I am wearing my FO, which I finished a little bit before now. I made this bag yonks ago. And I love this fabric inside. And look, I made a green zipper. This is wool, of course, and so are the little sheep that I hand stitched on there. And I think this one's so cute with his little leg walking along and his little head cocked. Yeah, that's all hand stitched. And then in here, it's all lovely, lovely, lovely. One of my favorite little bags or pouches. All right, so I am knitting with John Arbon's Exmoor sock yarn in the Mizzle colorway. Of course, it's gray, Mizzle. This is so soft. I think it's softer than some of the dyed ones because I did knit with, I did knit with some of his dyed Exmoor sock yarn, which is really nice, but I am noticing how soft this is for sure. And what I'm knitting are a pair of socks from This Handmade Life, who is Olivia, and who I feel is my constant companion in all things beautiful. She is a maker, and I have to buy half of what she makes, it feels like. So I have two beautiful quilts, handmade quilts from her, patchwork, and I have a beautiful embroidery little jar of flowers on a little hoop. I'll never forget that. I was actually getting a pedicure at the time, and I was flicking through my phone on Instagram, and I saw this, and it was for sale. And I didn't know who Olivia was or anyone, but it was just such a beautiful, it stopped me in my tracks. I loved it. And it's years ago, and it was my first online purchase to someone other than a shop. So I didn't know who she was. I just found this thing, and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to send somebody money. And well, that was the start of a lovely, beautiful relationship. So yeah, I am knitting one of her sock patterns, and I've knitted her sock patterns before, and they're always just lovely. So let me show you. I'm actually knitting this top down. Her pattern is toe up, but I like a top down. And I think this is from her Miss Marple collection, which also just makes me squeal. I love Miss Marple, especially the Geraldine McEwen's rendition of Miss Marple is my favorite. Anyway, I think Bluebird Cafe is a place in one of those books, if I remember. Yeah, so this is just a very nice little knit, nice little lace, very soft. I'm going to make these nice and long so that they go up my legs, so they're quite wide and stretchy even. So I think they will go up my leg a little bit and be very warm and comfy. Of course, I'm knitting with this, and these come in 50-gram balls, and so you generally need 2 of these. You need 100 grams to knit a pair of socks. So not color work, first pair of socks in a while, and thoroughly enjoying them. That's all I've been knitting on though, apart from my swatch that my husband burned, and this. And I'm about to cast on another one, like I mentioned. So let's talk about what's in the shop now. And we have some wonderful things, including some new yarn. I'm going all in on the Rama and their Woolly Wool. And so this is their Vams PT3, brand new to the Woolly Thistle. This is an Aran weight. You get about 90 yards per 50-gram ball. So that's around 180 per 100 grams. And this is so soft and fluffy, really quite soft and fluffy. And if I compare it to this, which is their fingering weight, hopefully you can see, yeah, there's quite a bit of difference. I believe this is probably their DK strict yarn plied twice, so double knitting, and it's very lightly spun. So it's got that lovely soft fluffy handle. So we have it in this color, which is 3, one of my favorite colors, of course. We have another natural, which is this is 14. These numbers, well, the colors may look familiar because they're in their fingering and strict yarn colorways. The color numbers are completely different. So this is 14. And then we have, of course, natural 1, lovely cream. Then we have 400. This would be 4120 in fingering, so it's that lovely red. We have another sort of orangey red, which is 401. So color work, imagine knitting a very quick hat in this weight yarn. You'd have all your Christmas gift knitting done for sure. Planning ahead there. Gorgeous color, this 403. Then we have another green, 406. And we have a minty green, which is very pastel and lovely, 303. So those are the greens we got. Got a lovely yellow, 304. One of my favorite colors, this mauve, is 402. So yeah, lots of these colors are available in the fingering weight, and you'll recognize them. And this is 300. I don't know why they numbered them so differently, but they did. And this one here is 301. And this here is 302. It's in here somewhere, right here. And then we have 404 in the blue. And the last one we have is 405, also a blue. Also recognizable in the fingering weight colors. So yeah, I'm going to be swatching with some of these because I'm not a knitter typically that knits with heavier weight yarns. So this will be a quick little test knit and fun to find some nice patterns to knit up in this weight. And it'll be quick, really good for gift knitting, really good for getting yourself something finished quickly. So let's talk about what else is in the shop. Right now we have a special offer through Valentine's, so you might catch it right at the end there if you're watching this. This is one of our big tote bags. Ooh, and it's full of heavy books. We have a couple of book bundle giveaways where you get a free large tote, which is a sweater size. The first one is Nordic Knits by Birgerberg. Hope I'm saying that right. And also in here is Scandinavian Sweaters by Kristen Viola Odegaard. I will be knitting something from this book very soon. I'm sure of it. The very soon part is the part I'm not confident about because just knitting all the things. And Selbu Mittens is in there too. So we have a lovely Valentine's Day book bundle with these lovely 3 books and a bag. So there is that. The next wonderful book bundle is actually a magazine bundle of Making Stories. They have 4 issues out and you get all 4 issues and of course the big bag as a lovely Valentine's Day special. These are so pretty even on the back. Making Stories is a phenomenal magazine. We have issue 1. We have issue 2. That sweater on the cover. We have issue 3 with a lovely sweater on the back too. And we have issue 4 with some really lovely shawls in there. All kinds of things in there. And the last book bundle we have on special for you is called the Vintage Shetland Week, which of course, £5 Vintage Shetland and Shetland Wool Week from 2020. And your bag. All of these get free shipping, which is really good. So yeah, if you want to get yourself a nice deal and a lovely sturdy tote, go ahead and go for one of these. I think they'll still be up when this is live. We did receive a lovely huge order from Lopi, but it did not include all the colors we were hoping to get. They are one of the vendors that is being affected by COVID, obviously. So we did get a huge order with lots of things that we were waiting for, but not everything. And if I remember right, the grays are part of the problem. So that lovely base gray is not available, but we do have all the colors. And I don't know what's going to happen as time goes on and as we, hopefully one day we will get a handle on this COVID and we will all have immunity from being vaccinated. But there's so many new strains and things that are worrying the experts that I don't know how long this is going to go on. So I am now making my strategy that I get in what I can get in and I get it in as much as possible so that we will have it for a while should things dry up even more. It's a scary prospect, isn't it? So yeah, we have loads of Lopi in the shop, but just not in all the colors, unfortunately. So hopefully you can find what you need. I would check it out now if you're in the market for that. What we do have with all that Lopi coming in is the rusty cardigan kits. We have plenty of those. So if that's something that you want to knit, now or in the future, I think this would be a good time to get that because we have plenty of them. That is a beautiful cardigan that I've knitted twice. It's knitted in the round using Plötulopi, which is that unspun Icelandic wool. It creates a very soft and very, very light sweater. So you feel like you're just wearing a cloud, but it's keeping you extra warm, which is nice. And it's a cardigan, so you can take it off or undo it. You don't have to be all you know, too hot in something that is that warm. So that's pretty good. And it's got a lovely Colorwork, you know, yoke, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry. So that's all good. So we've got plenty of those just come in. We also just got more of these back in stock. We got lots of these, so hopefully you will be able to get one if that's what you're in the market for. This is Anne Budd's Top-Down Sweaters book, which is a Bible to anyone who wants to knit a sweater and change it up, or start from scratch, design their own. She gives you, there's the raglan. So she gives you 5 different constructions, or 4 rather: seamless yoke, raglan, set-in sleeve, and saddle shoulder. Do you know what a saddle shoulder is? I'll see if I can find it for you. There it is. So the saddle shoulder has construction that's different along here. Very professional, nice finishing on that, and fun to knit because it's a different construction. But also in here, so she gives you those 4 designs, and then she gives you all the numbers that you would need to knit with all the different gauges that you could be knitting with. So the first thing you do when you get this book is you decide what yarn you want to knit your sweater in, and you knit a swatch, and you find a fabric that you like. You know, do you want drape? Is it too loose? Does it need to tighten up? All that kind of stuff. So you find, you knit your swatches till you find the fabric you want. And then you count how many stitches per inch you got. And then you go to the book and you look up, you know, your stitches per inch. And those are the numbers you use for the instructions throughout the knitting of your chosen construction method. It's absolutely brilliant and indispensable. So we got lots of these in. I think this is something every garment knitter can't go wrong in having and reading and seeing how it's done. I think it's very explanatory and very, it's, you know, I think maybe it's, I have heard from lots of people that feel overwhelmed by it, and that's fine. But I think though, as long as you, if it's overwhelming to you at one point and you're knitting more sweaters and then you go back and look at it, it will start to make sense. It totally will. And it does make sense. It is the nuts and bolts of knitting any top-down sweater. Let's see what else is brand new in the shop. Well, I'm showing you this at the time of recording when I don't have them in the shop, but they should be in the shop by the time you see this. This is a departure for us. For the first time, we are now stocking Chiago Needles, and we are stocking their twist small set, which is US 2 through 8. I have never looked in this, so let's look together, shall we? Well, the first thing I noticed is this lovely, really nice case. It's got a nice feel to it, and it's got this satin ribbon. It's got a pocket here, which has bits and bobs in it. It's got a needle gauge and bits and some stitch markers. So that's nice tucked away in there. I'm going to put them back. And then we unzip around the edge. It's very compact and light feeling, which is nice. It's not bulky. So then inside you have your instructions. You have your iconic red cables. And 2 through 8, US 2 through 8. And there is, oh, and then there is room actually for you to put bigger sizes if you ever graduate to get the bigger sizes as well. No, that's lovely. It's very simple. And I think you could actually keep your spares in this pocket that we were in before. So you could keep your cables in there. But I'm going to put these back in here with my instructions. And that's lovely. I really like that. We have the same thing for 9 through 15. So the same thing for the other side. So the US 9 through 18 set is here. Both of these are 5-inch needle length. I do have for the US 2 through 8 the 4-inch needle length as well. I quite like knitting with them. Their DPNs were out of stock, but I was able to get their DPNs in bamboo. And I do have a few bamboo knitters that come through. And this has a lovely green ribbon satin. I like the feel of that, obviously. And here inside, isn't that sweet? I really like how compact and organized and basic. Just simple, that's what you need. And it's pretty. Very nice. And it's got the Chiago. And I'm just going to zip that back up like that. So we have those, and those are in sizes, well, they're 6-inch first of all. And they go US 1 through US 3. So this is a sock type DPN set. Right, and then I told you I have the 4-inch, so that's that. And I don't really know what these are. Let's have a look. First up is the Twist Red Lace Mini 5-inch US 000 to 1.5. So these are the super tiny needles. And they're in this mesh zippered case. There's actually 2 zips. And inside, oh my gosh. Yeah, the 000s. Oh, wow. So they live in there. Okay, so you also get this little container, and in here you pop the lid and you've got your little screws, a few stitch markers, the rubbery thing to help you tighten those joins. They all live in there. And of course you have your cables, 3 sets, and you have a very specific, down to that number, needle gauge. So this is the Chiago Mini, Twist Minis. Really nice. I really like their packaging. Very efficient packing, I think. And then lastly, we've got the Twist Shorties, which is in this lovely red case. This is really fun. So inside you get this lovely little black case that I'm getting my fluff on. And inside of here, whoa, these are 2 to 3 inch tips, and they come in 2mm up to 325. So that's US 0 up to US 3. That's the smallest. They have nice points, not too pointy, not as pointy as Hiya Sharps, which I love. But this is really wow. And then also in here we have teeny tiny little cables. These are really short. So this is for very small circumference knitting. So this little zipper here, with a lot of extra bits in it, I love it. It folds out and gives you space to get what you're looking for. Very thoughtful. Another little card for doing your gauge, and then the little packet of bits and bobs and stitch markers. So these little shorties, what would you knit with these? I mean, you could go round and round knitting a pair of socks with these, I think. Or very small mittens. Yeah. Very, very interesting. I like these, and I like the weight of that. That feels really nice in my hand. Okay. So that's what we have coming from Chiago, and you should see those in the shop as soon as they're ready. We're still stocking Hiya Sharps, fear not. And we just got their US 2 through 8 interchangeable sets, and they're 9 through 15 as well. So we still have those, and some of the accessories that go with that are in the shop as well. We have Garthenor sock yarn. Their Snowdonia yarn just arrived as I'm recording this. So we will have that in the shop right away as soon as possible. That is an exceptionally popular sock yarn right now, and we're really, really happy to have it here. And we are also getting more Uist, which we all but sold out of. So more Uist is coming, and Garthenor organic socks will be in soon, sock yarn. And also we will have Marie Wallin's yarn coming in soon as well. We're just waiting for that to finish milling up and then make its way over here. We have all her books in stock right now, so if you're in the market for those, do jump on that, especially Wildwood. We're really short on that. We'll need to get more. And Shetland Wool Week 2020, we still have a fairly decent supply of those. We need to get more of the older ones because those sold out. And 2019 is now no more, it's out of print. But we can still get 17, 18, and 20. So it's a lovely collection. PomPom Quarterly number 36, the spring issue, is so happy looking, and we have that on pre-order right now. It is all about patchwork. It's inspired by patchwork, and even their front cover is a vest that's all beautiful Eastery colors, along with patchwork, other garments, as well as some garments that are in solids as well. It's not all patchwork or all color work inspired knits. So there's that's available right now. I think that goes live on March 1st. Of course, Strands of Joy, we have a few of those left. We're all but sold out of our pre-orders. We'll need to get more in, but that goes live on February 19th. And if you've bought that with us, thank you so much. Your orders are sitting on these shelves right here. We've pulled all your orders. We're just waiting for the book to come in. Then we'll wrap up the book nice. We'll pop it in your package and it'll be off out to you in time. So that's really good. So long as we get the book in time, of course. We have to get the book in time. But I have a feeling that it will go well. Kate Davies. I am long overdue an order to Kate Davies for all her books. And I will also endeavour to get her 10-year anniversary book, which is such a historic and wonderful event. Kate Davies is one of the designers that dragged me, well, I was willing, but she pulled me into this whole world of yarn and knitting and knitwear designers and wool, and just, she was my connection to home. She lives in Scotland. And I have been lucky enough to meet her once or twice. So she's on her 10-year anniversary. She has a book to celebrate. We'll get that in if possible. But I definitely will be topping up all our other titles as well because we are really low. And if I can get them, those will be on their way soon. I need to do a Tuku order, so hopefully that's well underway by the time you see this. We have West Yorkshire Spinners to come in as well, all their sock yarn that we love. What else? We have so much. Jamieson Smith. Jamieson Smith is one of our bread and butter yarns, one of my favorite desert island yarns, definitely. And, they've had struggles with COVID and production, but they are back up and running. So that's great, but they are having to ration some of the colors. So for the Star Cardi, this means we probably are not going to have enough yarn in to make kits in that anytime soon, unfortunately, which is really, really a bummer. So I will see what we get. Basically, I won't know what we're getting until we get it. That's the way it has to be, and I'm completely fine with that. That's just life in the time of COVID right now. But if we're not able to put kits together for the Star Cardi, we'll have to just push off and wait for that because it's beautiful. There it is. Its time will come. This is a timeless piece. And when we do get to knit it, it will be fantabulous and it will last forever. I love mine. I love mine. So anyway, you all know the story of how that started. And if you don't, I'm sure it's somewhere in a couple of past episodes. Jamieson and Smith. So my plan is to get in more Supreme so that we can fill up on our Silver Forest kit, because I know some of you have been waiting for that and then didn't get it. And that we feel terrible when that happens. So we'll try and get more of that in for you. We'll keep trying to get in all the colors we can so that we have as much as we can to fulfill what needs you have with your JNS. Kits, we would love to have a Radiant Cowl kit for the cover picture on Shetland Wool Week. This one here, we would love to be doing kits in that. And actually, we are not able to because the bright pinky red color that goes through the middle is unavailable right now. But Ella Gordon popped into she's the designer, she popped into our Ravelry group and suggested alternatives to that color. So we are working on that to see if we can make that a go. Because if she says it's okay, then it's totally fine with us. Lovely, lovely, lovely pattern. Big hopes for a kit for that. And maybe it'll be in the shop by the time you see this. We'll put it there if I'm able to update you with that. Speaking of kits, we love kits. We have them worked out. We can do kits. The problem is the yarn. We're not able to get all the yarn that needs to go into a kit so that you can buy it as a kit. And it's frustrating for you. I know that. And it's frustrating for us too. But I think for now, we are looking for other kits that we do have for yarn that we have in stock. But so much is difficult to source right now that kits are a bit more difficult. So if you have flexibility in the colors, then we can work with you to put together your very own kit. And if we find that that's a good combination, that we have enough yarn in, maybe we will put together kits with that, you know. So we want to work with you. We want you to get what you want. I just know it's not us. It's not us that are saying, well, we can't be bothered putting kits together, or I can't be bothered ordering that yarn. COVID has, in so many ways, with everybody's life, has a huge impact. And, you know, we're importing yarn and stuff. So not only at the source is it impacted, but also the supply chain is impacted quite a bit. You know, things like Brexit happened and really did a number on shipping and postage over there in the UK to various places. So, you know, we're not directly impacted by that, but we do feel, you know, the ripples from that. Everything affects everything anymore. Wanted to show you some new books that are coming in. They might be in by the time you see this, hopefully. This little book I'm about to show you is one of my favorites. I've had mine for a long time. I have studied it, and it's a quick and dirty little book to keep in your bag when you're out and about. It's called The Field Guide to Fleece. Any knitter or spinner or fibre enthusiast will know of this book. This is one to have, and it's brilliant. It has a little paragraph, it has photos of the sheep, it has photos of the yarn, talks about the staple, the micron level, whether it's a rare breed, protected breed, and it's wonderful. This I have in my bag at all times, and if you're out and about and you see sheep, you know, there's plenty of places around me that has sheep, and I will have at one point or another tried to figure out what they are using my little book here. So here's the American Tunis. I have a flock of these down the road from me. I have some of their fleece too. They're very pretty reddish colored fleece. And you know, all these sheep have such great stories. Like the Tunis fleece, you probably know, but if you didn't, their wool was used to make the red coats during the Revolutionary War because of their red tinge already, and they would dye them with madder, and that's what made the red coats. And no, this is a whole other thing. I was thinking the American Merino started in Wethersfield, Vermont, which is right down the road from me. That's where the breeder brought them in to the US from Spain many years ago. Like, I don't want to say because I don't know. Could have been the 1700s, the 1800s. And that's where the first flock landed, and they have since obviously grown and grown. So that is a great book. It's a fun book if you're at all following down the rabbit hole that you'll find me in. This is another great book, The Shepherd's Life. This is by James Rebanks, and it is, of course, the New York Times bestseller. This is his life in Lancashire, being a shepherd, being a farmer. And it's such a good read. And it's just, you know, one of those books that you want to have on your nightstand because he writes really conversationally, so it's an easy read. And I thought it'd be nice to have some of those in. Some of our customers were talking about this next book called The Fabric of Civilization, How Textiles Made the World. It is a hardcover book by Virginia Postrel. And it says, from the Stone Age to Silicon Valley, textiles have played a central role in the history of the world. Virginia Postrel has an encyclopedic knowledge of the subject, but she imparts it with a touch as light as Penelope's at the loom, ambitious, erudite, and absorbing. Both educational and a pleasure to read. So we got some of these in. I'll be reading this in my spare time. And then lastly, this is a book I've had my eye on forever, and I finally figured out how I could source it here. Oh my goodness. It's a stitch dictionary of Japanese techniques. Oh, I haven't looked in this yet. This is my first time. Oh my gosh. And yeah, the shaping in that. Oh my goodness. Yokes, people. yokes, skirts. These are just swatches, of course. Yes, there is round yokes. So that's exactly what the point of these are. Holy mackerel, this is gorgeous. I will be devouring this. I just love looking at things like this anyway and seeing how it all is put together. Their charts are completely wonderful here, nice and easy to follow. They're understandable. You know when you get a chart that's like this? So it's all dots and squiggles and lines. Sometimes you want to just blow it up so that it's this size. And if you want to, you can color code things so that when you see a color in your mind, you know to do a yarn over or knit two together. That works for some people better than just the different lines and squiggles and triangles. Marie Wallin's charts are quite intricate. And so if you blow them up nice and big and then color code them, that will, because you color coded it, you will know what you're supposed to do when you see that color, and it'll help you move along the chart. So I like that little tip. But this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. So this will be in the shop. Oh, I just noticed that back there is my lovage sweater, and I knitted that in Jamieson Smith 2-ply. The bottom body is knitted with the Supreme, so you can use those two yarns together. And that is lovage by Marie Wallin. And as with most of my knits, there's a big long story to that one too. But anyway, we will be back with you in a couple of weeks. Hopefully I will have a nice area to be recording and coming to you in a less, cardboardy box way. And there too. And we will be further moved into our space and feeling like it's home, and we will have internet. But until then, I will hopefully see you during our cast on for our Colorwork Accessory KAL. Do join us. Do check out Patricia's courses on knitography.com. And if there's anything we can do for you, just let us know. We love hearing from you. We check our emails all the time, and we try and direct them to the right person who can help you the most if you have questions or requests. So do get in touch with us. Definitely join our newsletter if you're not on there already, because that is how I keep in touch with you directly from me to you. And it's a nice way for me to be able to reach out and pop in your inbox and hopefully be welcome there so that you can have a catch up with me as well. And don't forget, $99 shipping is free. US shipping is free. So one last thing, I realized I did the whole podcast wearing my cowl like a stole. So here it is. This is the Colorwork cowl, my winter tapestry cowl, all bunched up around my neck. It's very comfortable. I hope you agree that it looks pretty darn good and that you want to knit one too, and you can. So be on the lookout for these kits and come knit with us starting February 19th. So with all that, I think the only thing left to say is if you go out, take your knitting, wear a mask, take good care of yourself, and keep in touch with us till we speak again. Bye for now.